Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
So check it out. The D6 Squad has merch now. We got hoodies, tees, mugs, whatever you need. Check it out. Link in the description. What's going on YouTube? Diggy546. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you're new. Like the video if you like the video. And I won't tell if you click that bell. But let's go ahead and get into this. All right. So I've kind of gone full circle. I wanted to do this during the regular season. I wanted to make the trade. And there's a lot of risk behind it because of the injuries. But Kenny Golladay, man, I've just made the decision. I was just sitting, just sitting, man. Just thinking. Kenny Golladay is the perfect fit for this offense. For what Jason Garrett wants to do as far as having that big physical receiver. He had it in Dez. Kenny Golladay is comparable and he's taller than Dez. And he might be a little bit faster. He might, at the same speed at the very worst. So Kenny Golladay seems like the best fit for what first Jason Garrett wants to do. And second, what Daniel Jones wants to do as far as giving people these 50-50 chances at the football. Michael Irvin said that, and Michael Irvin is a division rival. So, he still roots for the Cowboys, but every once in a while he says some things that make sense about the division rivals. And he said that the Giants, their best fit, that will fit like a glove, will be Kenny Golladay. And I agree. I think Kenny Golladay is exactly what the Giants need at receiver. He is someone who, he's not the best route runner, but he always creates space because he has speed. And even when he doesn't have speed, he can just throw the ball up. When he doesn't have space, you can throw the ball up, and more than often, he's going to come down with it. This is a dude that runs slant routes, and balls are inaccurate on slant routes, and he's jumping in the air to snag slant routes out of the air. Like, routine catches are like highlights for most receivers. This dude, I'll link my film session here so you guys can check that out. But Kenny Golladay is someone who has a lot of potential. Now, last year he played, let me see, I think he missed some games last year. I don't have it in front of me, but he missed some games, and when he was playing, he was injured. He only ended up getting 338 yards. Still averaged 16.9 yards a catch. The year before, 2019, was his best year by far. 65 catches, 1,100 yards, 10 yards away from 1,200, 18.3 yards per catch. That is ridiculous. 11 touchdowns, and that's his best season. His second best touchdown output was 5 touchdowns, and he had a 1,000-yard season that year. As you see me looking down, I'm looking at my computer. He had a 1,000-yard season that year, but he also had 70 catches. So he's someone that seems like, at the very worst, he's a guy who's going to get you between 60 and 80 catches and 1,000 yards, at least around that 1,100 to 1,200 mark. If he can stay healthy, he'll probably rise above that. And I think that's what we definitely need. Now, there's a lot of different ways we can go this offseason. And I'm going to have a video about paying Leonard Williams, all about that. That's going to be coming either today or in the next couple of days. But if Leonard Williams doesn't come back, even if he does, people don't realize that you can move the cap around. Before I see everybody typing, we don't have the cap space to do this, we don't have the cap space to do that. Listen, the cap is very fluid. First, you can restructure other people's deals. You can move money around. People can take pay cuts. You can make cuts. You can make trades. Besides that, you can, change around guaranteed money. There's a lot of things you can do. And when you sign people, I hope you realize when you sign people and the average is 18 million or the average is 20 million or the average is 10 million, whatever it is, that doesn't mean that that's the average for that entire contract. Meanwhile, you have quarterbacks that are getting paid 40 million, 39 million, who that's not their average because the deals move around. Some years you'll be getting paid the average. Some years you won't be getting paid the average. You'll be below it. Some years you'll be way above it. So NFL contracts are very fluid. These people are smart. They know how to work the cap. And if they want to bring in someone, then they'll be able to do it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's always a way to get someone on the team. So that being said, Spot Rack, which I think is probably one of the more reputable kind of cap websites, they have his value at $17 million a year. I think they had a 4-year, $17 million a year kind of deal. And at $17 million, I do it all day, every day. I think 17 million is pennies. They have Allen Robinson at 20 million a year, which I don't think is that realistic. So you might want to say the Kenny Golladay thing isn't that realistic. But I think 17 million is pennies. It's funny me saying 17 million dollars a year is pennies, but as far as the salary cap, as it shoots up next year, as it shoots up the year after, him being 17 mil, when you look at the receivers in the league, he probably won't even be top 6 or 7 paid receivers on an average deal if we give him a 4-year contract. In 2 years, he won't even be in the top 5 or 6. He won't be anywhere near the top of the league because the salary cap is going to shoot up so much, and you're going to have receivers that are going to get 30 million, which is ridiculous to think about. You're going to have receivers getting paid out of the wazoo. But Golladay at 17 million a year, I would absolutely do that. He is right now my number one target in free agency. Above Leonard Williams, above Dalvin Tomlinson, even though I think if we sign Kenny Golladay, then Dalvin Tomlinson is probably coming back. Above any, second cornerback who I think we could also fit. Above Allen Robinson. Now, only reason he's above Allen Robinson is because of the money. If we can get Allen Robinson for a deal comparable to what we would get Kenny Golladay for, sure. I think he's the better receiver all around. But I think Kenny Golladay, first, he has the potential to grow. He just got to stay healthy. He's just got to stay healthy. He's 27. He'll be 28. So I guess these are his prime years. For receivers, these are the prime years from 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. And then they really start to kind of slow down. So him being able to control his body and make all these contested catches, it reminds you of Plaxico. Plax came in. Kenny Golladay is 6'5", and Kenny Golladay is 6'4". Let's look up Plaxico Burress' height as I have this in front of me. I'm pretty sure Plax was around 6'5". Yep. So Plax was 6'5". Kenny Golladay is 6'4". And I think that's the number one thing that you need to get a young quarterback. Someone who can bail them out. Look at Kyler Murray. They got him someone that can bail you out. And that doesn't mean that the quarterback's a bad player. It means that if I throw this ball up to this player, at the very least it'll be an incompletion. Daniel Jones has nothing like that. Even if he throws something to an open receiver, which is rare. If he throws something to an open receiver, it might be dropped and intercepted. There's no one that Daniel Jones can drop back and say, oh, he's got a one-on-one, I'm going there. It used to be Darius Slayton, but he started dealing with injuries, and he started getting more attention. So if we get Kenny Golladay, that's going to open up things for Sterling Shepard. That's going to open up things for Darius Slayton. It's going to open up things for Evan Ingram. And I think we'll probably still take a receiver in the draft. So Kenny Golladay as that, threat to take the top off the defense anytime he's on the field, as that threat to be someone who is going to be able to elevate and snatch it out of the air. I just really think that he should be the number one target. I think Allen Robinson will be too expensive. Allen Robinson on this team would be amazing too because he's someone who can be a possession target. He's someone that's a lot more shifty. But Golladay, I would definitely take. Now, it's all about, will the Lions re-sign him? Do they think that he's the perfect target for Jared Goff? I don't know. But I think even if the Giants were to dip into this receiving class and they were lucky enough for one of these top 3 receivers to fall, which after that Lions trade, it seems like it's not going to happen. It just seems like at this point, they're going to take a receiver for Jared Goff. And at that point, you're not going to get any one of these top 3 receivers. People are thinking the Dolphins are going to take one. People are thinking the Eagles. The 3 receivers could be gone. So to prevent from dealing with that hardship, how about you go out, you get this receiver, Kenny Golladay, in free agency, and you take the best player available at corner or whatever position. If it's a receiver, still take the receiver. But I have more faith in Kenny Golladay to come into New York or come into to MetLife and be that consistent number one target because he's shown that he could do that. I have more confidence in him to do that than any rookie. And I think that these are generational level rookie wide receivers. But they have to adjust to the NFL, and we're evaluating. We're evaluating Daniel Jones. We're evaluating Jason Garrett. We're even evaluating Saquon Barkley. So we need the best tools immediately around them. If we don't have that, it's going to be a learning curve, and we'll be in November saying, oh, well, Jalen Waddle is really turning the corner. He's turned into a great receiver. Sure, but that's not helping us in 2021. So you guys let me know what you think of Kenny Golladay. Do you think we should really sell out for him? When I say sell out, I mean he should just be our number one target going into free agency, pretty much above anything else. So do you think we should do that? You guys let me know what you think. And that's all I got. So if you made it this deep into the video, I'm calling you a D6 squad member. If you're a D6 squad member, you got to hit that subscribe button. You got to turn on that notification bell. And listen, I make all kinds of content for NFL teams. So if you're not a Giants fan, don't worry. I'll cover your team. If I'm not covering your team, let me know. And have a good one.